Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Tracy's Art and Craft. How are you all today? So I'm feeling a little bit better today, so I'm going to be making myself a journal that I've been planning to do for quite some time, and I just want to get it done. Now this journal is going to be a gentleman's journal. I've already started cutting all the pieces. So I have the spine here. This is out of cereal box card. I have doubled this one. Slightly smaller piece, not much on the inside, and it'll just give it some strength once I do cover it with fabric and whatnot. So the size of this one is exactly 2 inches by 8 and 6/8, I think. Yeah, something like that. Or in centimetres, that is just a little over 5 centimetres by almost 22. That's just the size I'm going for. Basically how I measure it is I take A4 bit of paper and I put it inside, and I make sure there's like a little border all the way around, and then that tells me that, you know, the page is going to fit in, but at the same time they're not going to overlap, if that makes sense. So then the cover is also 6 1/8 by 8 6/8. Yeah, a little over 8 1/2. So they're the sizes I've chosen. If you want to make something like this as well, you can go for those sizes, or you can do what I do and just fold up a bit of A4 paper and then just make your own sort of judgment on how big you want your journal to be. So I've brought over a few bits and pieces. This is going to be a gentleman's one. I already have a name for it. It's going to be called Dave. So Dave, let's find you some fabric for the spine. I have some various fabrics. This one's one of my favourite because I'm so sorry, I have got lots of threads coming off these fabrics. This is my favourite fabric. It's really stiff, really stiff, really tough fabric. So I think this one is going to be perfect for the spine, but I will need an inside fabric and some for the outside. So I've brought over these 2 colours as well. I felt they went really well. They're not flowery or girly, and they seem to go really well. So I'm just going to go for those. The first thing I'm going to do is get this fabric on the spine and get the spine put together. So let's just dump everything out of my way. Let's do this. So the smaller, thinner bit is going to be on the inside. That's just how I've decided. I don't have any logic behind that. I'm using 3-in-1, or you can use tacky glue, any fabric glue. I wouldn't recommend putting this through your sewing machine with all the layers and everything, especially if you use a tough fabric like this. Your sewing machine's going to choke and it's going to have trouble. But if you're using a thin fabric and you don't double up, you probably could just dump that through the sewing machine if you wanted to, rather than glue it on. There we go. If you're worried about your glue coming through the fabric, if you just use your finger and just smush it around and flatten those beads of glue, that usually helps to stop the fabric coming through. There we go. Just takes a little while to grab. It doesn't take long usually, but I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't wrinkle or lift or anything, because it's quite a stiff fabric. It's really quite prone to trying to lift. So I could have probably done this further over this way, but I use all my scraps anyway, so I'm not really concerned. You're going to want a good 1.5 inches to put onto the other side of the journal. So I'm using my pinking shears. There we go. Pinking shears will help stop the fraying, but it also just has like a really nice neat finished look. So that is the inside, the outside of the spine, and that's what that looks like. Like I say, it's trying to lift a little bit. I have to keep squashing it down. So that's what it looks like so far. So that's come along nicely. I am sorry, I'm just watching for it to, making sure nothing's lifting, because it really is prone to doing that. So I'll put that aside and we'll get our covers. I like to leave the plain side on the inside because I usually cover with paper and things. So we're going to flip them over and have this side up. The fabric covers it better anyway. So the amount of fabric I have here, I'm not sure if it's enough to do both. Let's have a look. Oh, it is. How good is that? So I'm just going to turn my fabric round the wrong way round, and I'm going to be sticking these sides down. Now if you're worried about this showing through, you can cover with white paper first. You could gesso over it, you could acrylic paint over it, whatever takes your fancy. Fancy. Oh my god. So, yeah, here's me throwing out random words again. So yeah, just yeah, choose whichever sort of method you want to cover that up if you feel you need it. This fabric's quite thick and it's really dark colours. I really don't think anything's going to show through, so yeah, I'm not too worried, to be honest. Plus the amount I cover my journal fronts with, I'll be surprised if anything does. Now I do have to finger smush this whole thing because there is a slight chance that it will bleed through. You can use other tools, of course you can. You haven't got to use your finger like I am. I'm just a heathen, as my mother used to always say. I was always getting in a mess as a child. Still am. Nothing's changed, not a thing. So again, I'm just going to snip that while I've got it here. You want a little bit of a border because you're going to be folding it over. There we go. We'll cut this piece off as well. So there's that piece. Let's pop this piece on. Let's see if it'll bleed through if we don't finger smoosh. Did it breathe? Oh no, that's perfect. So yeah, I don't see on YouTube very many people doing male journals. I see a lot of female. I'm not sure if it's because people are a little intimidated, not knowing what men like. But there are men, or thinking men don't journal even, and men do journal, definitely do. Men tend to like more, you know, sort of Art Deco things. So, you know, your more linear pieces and stuff. Saying that though, there are men out there that love flowers and things. So you can't really say, you know, you could do a garden and one aimed at a man. You could do all sorts. Mine's going to be more to do with vehicles. More to do with cars. It reminds me of my dad's. My dad's name is also Dave. Sorry, just need a drink there. So that's where the Dave bit comes in. And yeah, my dad does not journal. But you know, there are men out there that do. It's a good way to put your thoughts down and to, you know, lots of things you could do. You could just put your thoughts down. You could just be planning your days, or just noting down your days so you can look back on them at a later date. You may journal for certain collections that you keep, or, you know, they may journal just to process emotion, especially if they've been taught to do so via counselling and things. So let's not forget the gents, shall we? Well, I haven't made a man's one recently. I have made more masculine ones. I've made dragon ones and all sorts. So yeah, this is just how I do all my folding corners in and stuff. I don't cut the corners, I do it this way. I saw it years and years and years ago on Pound from the Paper Outpost, and ever since then I have just done it this way. It just fits, you know when you do something and it just is right, and you do it all the time that way. It's just right for you. I'm not saying it's just the only right way, it's not. There's loads of different ways you can do this, but for me it just fits and it just works, and I get a nice crisp clean fold and everything every time and all this. So just make sure when you're sticking your corners down this way they're at right angles, so that you get the perfect angle here. And so now I don't always get the perfect angle, to be fair. I've had some real dodgy angles when I've been doing these. But the paper that you put inside tends to cover them really well, so I'm not too concerned. So before I ever decorate the front of my journals, just a little tip, I always put my spine on. And the reason for that is this fabric takes over quite a lot of the room. And if you start decorating your journal front cover and you haven't put that on, chances are that part is going to cover quite a lot of your pieces, whereas if you do it afterwards you can put pieces on top of that fabric spine. Now this is how I nearly always make my journals. I do sometimes repurpose books and make them out of books. Currently wanting to make an art journal out of an old book, but usually I do it this way, and this is how I always do my spine. This is how I always do the covering. This is just my way. If you've got another way, it's not wrong, that's right as well. There are so many different ways to make journals. There's no right or wrong way, but you personally will have your own personal preferences. My personal preference is this way. It might not be to somebody else. This is the type of book I just like to create, and this is just my style. So yeah, this is going to be another big one. 5 signatures. I'm thinking about 8 pages of signature, 8 pieces of A4 paper. So it won't be 8 pages, it'll be, what will it be? 8, 16, 32? 32 pages. 32 is it? 2 16s, 32? Yeah. Pretty sure it is. If I'm wrong, you know, don't blame me. Blame anything but me. Anything but me and my maths. No, I'm quite good at maths. I'm sure it's 32. Yeah, it is. So 32 pages, that'll be. Because you know, it's sort of folded over, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's just one piece of paper, you know, so it's like 4 8s, 32. If that makes sense. So I'm sorry if I'm quiet as well. I don't know, I'm in a really quiet mood today, so if it's gone quiet and you can't hear me very well, I apologise. I just keep going quiet today. I think I'm still trying to get myself back to normal, you know. I'm feeling a lot better today, feeling a bit more positive. Yeah, I've just been a negative Minnie, to be honest with you. Just a complete negative Minnie. Oh. Moan Myrtle, like from Harry Potter. Yeah, I've just been a miserable old bimp, really. And yeah, just trying to get myself back to normal, really. Things are getting better all the time. Each day things improve, so that's good. It's always on the up. It's not complete yet. It's not going to be for some time, but it's looking positive. I haven't had an appointment through yet for the hospital for neurology. But the wait times here in the UK are going absolutely bonkers at the moment. Oh, it's got bits all over it. Bits of its own fluff. It's the problem with this fabric. It's a bit grabby. It likes to grab. So which one do I want as the front? That one. Oh, I think they both look good as the front. So I'm going to just slap this on, I think. Yeah. So this is where I'm going to stick this in. I will put the fabric on the inside in a little while. We'll do this first. Making sure you get lots on the edges, because you don't want it lifting off. Lots and lots of glue. Don't worry too much about bleed through. You can fix it afterwards. But if you're worried, again, you can finger smudge it. I'm really not worried. There's a lot of glue there. I think it will just honestly blend in. You must leave a very, very tiny gap just so you get a really easy open and close. But honestly, the gap I've left, let's see if I can tell you how many mil it is, but it's literally less than 5 mil. Yeah, it's 3 mil, or 1/8 of an inch is literally all I've left down there, or 3 mil. So oh yeah, there's no bleed through really. We're good. The thing is, the pattern as well disguises any bleed through because of the grey colours in it. So that's how the book's looking so far. Like I say, I can now put things over the top of this and not worry about that at all. So that's coming along nicely. Let's get this one done. I'll speed this up for you, and then yeah, I'll be back once it's all made. There we go, cover all put together. Now what I want to do is I want to get some of this fabric here and pop it just on the inside just before I go and put my paper on, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to decide roughly how wide I want it. I can touch it up afterwards if it's a problem and if it's not good enough. There we go. Let's have a look. Yep, I like how wide that is. It's perfect. Now I'm going to have it overlapping just like I have the top overlapping a little. And the bottom. Perfect. Just cut this piece off. There we are. Yes, I love that. Love it. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all over this piece. Making sure I get plenty at the top as well as plenty at the bottom. And I'm going to get little bits through this crease here. Ooh, a blob of glue just come off. Let me get rid of that. And a blob just into this crease here as well. I've just noticed that has moved a little bit. No, I don't think I can. Yes, I can. There we go. That's better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up to where I want it. Squish it down, and then I'm going to get my bone folder and just get inside those creases there. And the same for this side. You have to keep going for a little while with these creases, because they do what I keep lifting up, and you've got to wait for that glue to sort of set a little bit. But it's beginning to, we're getting there now. Most of the time, this is a slow process, but if you don't wait for that glue, it really does impact the look of the journal and the final look that you want. So sometimes in art, patience is necessary. We don't like to admit it though, do we? Because we hate being patient. We're almost pretty much there. Let's just have a little look. Don't think that will lift up, but if it does, we'll just put the bone folder to it again. And what I'm going to do is just pop some glue just along this edge. Now this is so reinforced, this spine. It's not coming undone. Now just to what I do a little warning, a safety warning about glue. If you're using glue like this, any glue really, and it's got a scent, that is fumes, that scent, and you need to be wearing a mask. Now your everyday masks we've been wearing for COVID, they're no good. You need an actual chemical respiratory mask, or you need extremely good ventilation. I've got good ventilation going on in here today, but if you're using this, you're using a lot of it like I am today, you need to be having either really good, I mean really good ventilation, or you need to be wearing a ventilator mask, a proper one for chemicals. It's the same with resin. Don't, for God's sake, people stop using resin without a mask. and COVID masks don't work, okay? You need a proper, with a respirator, a proper mask. Resin is highly dangerous, and I keep seeing people on YouTube, they're using it and you can hear they haven't got a respirator on. I don't use resin for that reason, because I've got children in my house and it stays in the air for a long time. Resin causes all kinds of lung problems, including cancer, including where you get fluid on your lungs, things like that. Really deadly lung conditions. There have been people, crafters and artists alike, who didn't know, and their lungs are ruined now for life. So, you know, it's a very serious matter. I don't say it lightly. You need to be wearing masks or extremely good ventilation within your house. Oh, sorry about that. It's my glass of water. I'll have some of that. Very quickly, and just remember, when it comes to glue, the fumes that you're smelling, that scent that you're smelling, it is you sniffing glue, okay? You know the drug, sniffing glue, that's what you're doing, you are. So, especially if you get bookbinders glue, oh my God, that is so strong. I used to use bookbinders glue way back when I did art course, and yeah, my gosh, man, that was some strong glue. That really was. Now I'm just going to get some paper for the inside of my journal to just line it. And I've got this lovely collage piece here. I want to rip my paper. I want it to be torn. So these little borders and things, I'm going to be tearing them off. Let me just get where I want the actual image to be. I want it to come over this a little bit. So I'm going to tear it there. Again, I've got the other side there for the other one. I'm just going to try to get these white pieces off here that my printer doesn't print. My printer doesn't print borderless. So this kit here is a gentleman's kit from Shabby Dabby Doodah. All my digital arts are down in the description box. But yeah, this one's from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I have got a couple. I think, where did the other ones come from? I want to say Janie B. I'm not sure. You're going to have to look through my digital art. I think it's Janie B. Janie B. Maybe Art Smart might have had some bits that I'm going to use today. And Shabby Dabby Doodah. I'm pretty sure. But they're all linked down in the description box, so yeah, this morning what have I been doing? Oh, I've just been editing, honestly guys, just editing, because I'd made some videos for earlier in the week and I never got to get them up, which I absolutely hate when that happens, but it happens. I just felt so low this week, seriously. I didn't like anything I've made. You know, everything was bad. One of those weeks. So, yeah, I'm pretty much over it now, I think. I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see how the hormones and everything go. See if I become a grumpy girl again later in the week. Who knows? So, yeah, just editing. I found a new editing software that I'm going to play with and try to learn to use. It looks like I could make some really good videos from it. So yeah, I'm going to have a little look at that, see if I can improve my videos at all. I applied for a job. God, I hope I get it. I'm not going to say what it is just yet. I can, if I get it, I will be able to say roughly what it is. I won't be able to say where it is and all that sort of stuff, but I will be able to tell you what my job role is. But I'm not going to say anything yet because I don't want to jinx it, and I probably won't even get it. You know, I probably won't even get the interview, you know me. But I'll try. This glue does get really dirty the way I use it. There are cleaner ways to use this glue. Don't get put off by the way I keep using it. More glue bits coming off. Yeah, whenever I do my covers I prefer 3-in-1, but when I come to decorate I do like to use my glue stick, my hot glue gun, sorry. Just personal preferences, guys. You use whatever glues you're happy with, the glues that you love, because we all like different things. My main glues are 3-in-1, tacky glue, glue stick. That's kind of it. I do sometimes use the hot glue gun. Some people prefer the hot glue gun over everything else. Another one is that art glitter glue. I found there were tacky glues that were just as good as art glitter glue, so I just never really felt that the price was worth what was happening with it. I mean, it's a good glue though. I'm not going to slate it as a very good glue, just, I don't know. I just found that there are tacky glues that are just as good, so I just never really needed it. And anything that needs more than a tacky glue, I just pull this in. And I do also have some Gorilla glues. They are like some really hardcore glues though for various bits and pieces. So this one, yeah, I want to take off a little extra on this one. So I'm just going to take off a little extra on this side. I'm just going to move this journal out of the way. I probably don't want that much. I'm a bit scared to take off too much now. Oh, my bin is getting full too. All these little bits like this that you see around on my desk, this is me die cutting the other day, and they just keep appearing. You know, like glitter. If you get spilled glitter in your house, it's there forever. You never stop finding this stuff. And it's a bit the same with these die cut little pieces. They just keep appearing everywhere. So just making sure that doesn't rise up or anything. I hope you guys are liking how this turned out so far. So the ink I was using on the edges, I'm about to use that again. That is just my Memento Rich Cocoa. It's a lot like the Tim Holtz. Which one is that? Espresso. Ground espresso. Yeah, it's a lot like that. Obviously it's an ink though, not an oxide, so it hasn't got pigment in it, it's just ink. So if you want, you know, you want an oxide that reacts to water and stuff, then you'd have to go for one that says it's pigmented as well. Well, I say that all inks react a little bit with water. You can get a reaction from all of them a little bit, just not as nice as the oxides, I don't think. Right, let's have a little look at this. Oh, lovely. Yep, I love that. Let's get the glue around it and then that can be done. When putting on the papers, you need to make sure you've got glue right to the edges, because otherwise they will lift and curl. There we go. there we are. So that is the inside of the book. We've got the outside and the back. Everything, I think, looks absolutely gorgeous. So that's all we're going to do for today. I will be back next time decorating all of this cover, and I might even start putting the pages in as well. Yeah, I think probably. Oh my god, look how covered I am in glue. This is insane. I'm gonna go wash my hands. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful, lovely time. If you'd like to join my membership, or if you'd like to buy any of my digital kits, they're all on my Buy Me a Coffee site, or you could just donate some money, and all the money goes towards helping me to do all of this, because I don't get paid for this. So unless I sell a journal, that just pays for the journal that I've just made. So yeah, they're all there. If you want to buy any of my journals, there is a playlist of journals for sale and a flip through. Each of the titles will say whether that has been sold or whether that is, you know, to be sold. And what else do we have? My newsletter. My newsletter is coming out very soon. It comes out on the 1st of every month, and you get free digitals with it. I usually do like a couple of pages with each monthly digital. You'll get a link on that file. When you get the link at the bottom of my newsletter, click on the link. It will take you to my Google file, my Google Drive, and it'll take you to the files. It'll take you to the file where it is. If you have a look at the other files in that Google Drive file, you should be able to download all the past ones too. You should be. If there are problems with that, do let me know, and I'll see if I can get around that by sharing like the whole file rather than just the picture file. There are ways around it, guys. There are ways around it, and we'll find a way. But do sign up for that. The link is again down in the description box along my website. My email is down there if anyone would like to get in touch with me. That's how you get hold of me the best, is through my email. And I also have Instagram and TikTok and things like that. So yeah, do pop along to those, have a little look, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye for now. Bye.